This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes, creators of the world's best repair manuals. Fix your car or truck the right way with our accurate and reliable information at your side. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete online manual at Haynes.com.
Thermostat Replacement. Pull the hood release lever located under the steering column. Slide the hood safety latch, then raise the hood upwards. Loosen the cable nut on the negative battery terminal, then disconnect the negative battery cable. Position the cable aside to prevent accidental reconnection. Cooling system draining. Apply the handbrake. Chock the rear wheels to prevent the vehicle from rolling. Then raise the front of the car and support it on jack stands. Remove the radiator cap. Turn the ignition switch on, but do not start the engine. Set the heater temperature control all the way to hot or to the highest temperature setting. Wait for 10 seconds, then turn the ignition switch off. Move a large container under the radiator drain to catch the coolant. Using a large screwdriver, open the radiator drain plug and direct the coolant into the container. Once the coolant has drained completely, close and tighten the radiator drain plug. Disconnect the mass airflow sensor electrical connector. Disconnect the breather hose from the air intake duct. Remove the air intake duct mounting bolts. Loosen the hose clamps, then remove the air intake duct between the air filter housing and the throttle body. Unlatch the spring clips. Then remove the air filter housing cover and filter element. Loosen the housing mounting bolt, then remove the air filter housing by pulling it up out of the grommets. Slide back the clamps, then disconnect and remove the upper radiator hose. Detach the lower part of the fan shroud from the upper fan shroud. Disconnect the electrical connector from the fan motor and unclip the harness from the shroud. Then disconnect the coolant reservoir hose from the radiator filler neck and unclip it from the fan shroud. Remove the upper fan shroud bolts and pull the shroud up and out of its lower mounts. Slide back the clamps, then disconnect the oil cooler hose, followed by the lower radiator hose from the coolant inlet. If the hose is stuck, grasp it near the end with a pair of large adjustable pliers and twist it to break the seal. Then pull it off. If the hose is old or deteriorated, cut it off and install a new one. Remove the 3 mounting bolts, then remove the thermostat housing assembly. Note: if the thermostat is defective, you'll have to replace the entire housing and thermostat assembly. Clean the thermostat and engine mating surfaces thoroughly. Using a new gasket, install the thermostat assembly to the engine, threading in the mounting bolts. Tighten the mounting bolts to the specified torque setting. Connect the radiator hose and oil cooler hose to the housing, securing the hoses with the clamps. Install the upper fan shroud into the engine, guiding it into the lower mounts. Install the shroud bolts and tighten them securely. Connect the coolant reservoir hose to the radiator filler neck and attach it to the fan shroud. Connect the electrical connector to the fan motor and attach the harness to the shroud. Connect the upper radiator hose to the engine and radiator, securing it with the hose clamps. Install the lower part of the fan shroud to the upper fan shroud, clipping it securely in place. Install the air filter housing, pushing it firmly onto the mounting grommets. Tighten the housing mounting bolt securely. Install the air filter element, then install the housing cover and secure it with the spring clips. Install the air intake duct between the air filter housing and the throttle body. Tighten the hose clamp securely. Connect the breather hose. Tighten the intake duct mounting bolts securely. Connect the mass airflow sensor electrical connector. Connect the negative battery cable to the battery terminal and tighten the cable nut securely. Cooling system filling. Slowly refill the radiator with the proper type and mixture of coolant until coolant reaches the lip on the radiator filler neck. Install the radiator cap. Add coolant to the reservoir up to the lower mark, then install the reservoir cap. Start and run the engine in a well-ventilated area until the thermostat opens. Coolant will begin flowing through the radiator and the upper radiator hose will become hot. Rev the engine to approximately 2500 RPM for 10 seconds, then let it idle. Do this a few times. Turn the engine off and let it cool completely. Slowly remove the radiator cap. Add more coolant mixture to bring the level back up to the lip on the radiator filler neck. Squeeze the upper radiator hose to expel air, then add more coolant mixture if necessary. Install the radiator cap. Make sure the coolant level in the reservoir is within the correct range. When the engine is hot, the coolant will expand, and the level should be at or near the maximum mark.